Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Toon Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for December 2024. Wanted to update the Toons for a good while now. It's a very fun Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and that's basically the main aspect of the deck, is to use your many different types of Toon cards that we run in the deck to either go for the direct attack, counter attack against your opponent, or use your opponent's own cards against them with our many different, Toon spell and traps to utilize that playstyle. So with the updates I've made to the deck, let's go ahead and get started. So we'll start off with the Toon monsters that we run in the deck. The only Toon monster I am missing for the deck is Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon. I don't know where I put my copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon, but I'll show what cards you can substitute for Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon for the other placeholders that I put in the deck. But for the Toon monsters, we are running 3 copies of Toon Dark Magician. It cannot attack the turn it's summoned, and while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack directly. Once per turn, you can discard 1 Toon card, activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 Toon monster from your deck, except for Toon Dark Magician, ignoring its summoning conditions, or add 1 Toon spell or trap for your deck to your hand. So this gives you basically access to the entire deck, making Toon Dark Magician one of the better cards to run at a definite 3 of in the deck, just for its overall setup that it can provide for all of your plays. We're also running 3 copies of Toon Harpy Lady. It cannot attack the turn summon. If you control Toon World, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control another Toon monster, you can destroy 1 spell or trap your opponent controls. You can only use the effect of Toon Harpy Lady once per turn. And while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon cards, it can attack directly. It's just a spell and trap destruction card, while also a great special summon setup on the field as well against your opponent, just being able to summon it on the field while Toon World is on the field. And setting up Toon World is one of your go-to plays to start off the setup of the deck to begin with. We're also running 2 copies of Toon Blackluster Soldier. It cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon first from your hand by tributing Toon monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 8 or more. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toons, it can attack directly. And once per turn, if you control Toon World, you can target 1 card on the field and banish it. You go not attack while this effect is activated, but still, it plays off the banish effect of Toon World while also relating to the ritual effect of the original Blackluster Soldier, having to ritual summon it onto the field, but being able to do so just by tributing Toon monsters as well. You can ignore the summoning conditions of this card using Toon Dark Magician, but then you won't be able to summon it back onto the field properly if it's destroyed. So just remember that with this card. We're also running 2 copies of Toon Masked Sorcerer. Once again, it cannot attack the turn it's summoned, but when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you draw 1 card. So it's draw power to help replenish your hand in the deck. This could be a potential spot to take out for Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon. The next being the last of the 2 Toon monsters we run, being Toon Mermaid and Toon Dark Magician Girl. It must be special summoned by tributing 1 monster. So if you have another Toon monster on the field already, you can tribute it for Toon Dark Magician Girl. And also, with this card, it can attack your opponent directly unless they control a Toon monster. And there's no restriction for when Toon Dark Magician Girl can attack, so it can also just swing into your opponent as well. Either the 2 Toon Masked Sorcerer or the Toon Dark Magician Girl and the Toon Mermaid can be swapped out for 2 copies of Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon, with the last of our main deck monsters just being a small hand trap lineup in the form of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. This could potentially also be the spot if you want to go pure Toons in the deck, where you could take out 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon for 2 Ash Blossom, and then the Toon Cyber Dragon as well if you wish to run that card. For the spells, running 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. This card became more readily available with the Mega Tins, releasing a quarter-century secret rare version. When it's activated, you banish 3 cards from the top of your deck face down. This card becomes Toon World while in the field zone. Your opponent cannot target Toon monster you control with card effects, and if a Toon monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 card from the top of your deck face down for each of those monsters instead. More protection for your Toons on the field, but also just being able to have this card count as Toon World while being a field spell makes up for some of the other restrictions the continuous spell version of Toon World had when it came to either searching out the card or setting it up for no additional benefit. We're also running 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents. You add 1 Toon from your deck to your hand. It's not a restricted once per turn either, so you can activate multiple Toon Table of Contents per turn as well. So searching out whether it be the Toon card or Toon Kingdom, the Toon monster, you name it, it can search out a majority of the deck. So another 3 of, with our other 3 ofs being 3 copies of Toon Page Flip. If you control Toon World, reveal 3 Toon monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, ignoring its summoning conditions. Also shuffle the rest into your deck. You can activate 1 Toon Page Flip per turn. So this gives you access to either Toon Dark Magician, your Toon Blackluster Soldier or your Toon Red Eyes. So just an option with this quick play spell to grab one of the needed monsters to set up many of your different plays that you can do in the deck in total. With the last of our 3-ofs being 3 copies of Toon Bookmark. Add 1 Toon World or 1 card that specifically lists the card Toon World from your deck to your hand except for Toon Bookmark. If Toon World you control be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only activate 1 Toon Bookmark per turn, but this is a search for Toon Kingdom and an added protection for that card since we have Toon Kingdom itself to protect our Toon monsters on the field, but really not anything to protect the actual Toon Kingdom itself. We're also running 2 copies of Comic Hand for if you control a Toon World, equip to an opponent's monster, take control of it, and it's treated as a Toon monster. If your opponent controls no Toon monsters, it can attack your opponent directly. If a Toon World's not on the field, destroy this card. So this is just what you can use to basically create your own Toon monsters using your opponent's own monsters against them. So I always love using this card, and then just renaming any of my opponent's monsters I take with the new Toon aspect. And then also for the rest of the Toon cards, 1 copy of Mimic Cat. If you control Toon World and a Toon monster, target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard. If it is a monster, special summon it to your field. Or if it's a spell or trap, set it to your field. So just a way to take more of your opponent's resources, whether it be a spell or trap or a monster, as long as you have the Toon monster on the field needed to use this card. With the rest of our spells being 2 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust. Plenty of normal spells in this deck for us to be able to add to our hand, like Toon Bookmark, Toon Table of Contents, Mimic Cat, you name it, off of just our opponent activating a monster effect or setting it on the field. And then for the 1-ofs, 1 Terraforming to search out Toon Kingdom, 1 Prosperity to search for more specific cards, and then the 1 Call by the Grave to shut down any hand traps that our opponent may try to use on any of our many searches in the deck. For the traps, I run 1 copy of Toon Briefcase and 1 copy of our Toon Terror. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control both Toon World and a Toon monster, negate the activation and destroy it. Or when your opponent special summons a monster or you control a Toon monster, shuffle that monster into the deck. It doesn't target either, so Toon Briefcase can help to get around a good number of cards our opponent may have, with the last of the traps just being 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just like the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, a small hand trap lineup to run in tandem with the Toon monsters. For the extra deck is pretty generic just for the lineup. There's no Toon extra deck monsters as of late. So we run the 1 number 60 Daenerys, the 1 Castell, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Performage Trapeze Magician, 1 Gaga Cowboy, and then the 1 number 11 Big Eye for our generics for the Xyz, with 1 Zeus and 1 Sky Crisis to finish off the Xyz monsters, with our Link monsters being 1 IP Masquerena, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Penistag to give piercing options if need be, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Moon the Closed Heaven, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and then the 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. As for plays in the deck, big plays just revolve around whether you can use cards like your Toon Page Flip to set up your bigger monsters like Toon Dark Magician, and then just extend your resources from there and there, either giving you more Toon searches or just the initial setup for you to then be able to swing into your opponent with your direct attack Toon monsters. It's a very simplistic deck, but that is the basic premise of what the Toon deck is meant to do. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.